Hey, what's going on, everybody? These live videos really were giving me challenges in the last 24 hours, so I wanted to start inside so I can see that I'm actually getting some audio here. I accidentally muted my mic through the middle of my podcast last night, so thanks for those who are following along, and sorry that happened. I'm going to take you outside now, where we're going to spend the rest of our podcast together hanging out in Port San Luis here in the Central Coast in California. Like always, I try to give you a little look around. Don't want to drop my laptop or my microphone here. Drying out the top box. Been raining like crazy. That thing got full of water. Got my solar over here. Got Wi-Fi set up in there. So this is just like streaming from home or the business. This is going to be the first time I'm outside doing this around other people. There are people walking dogs. Somebody might stop and try to talk to me in the middle of this, and I'll have to politely shoo them off since we're live. Oh. Get a good view. All right, I think I still got Mike. All right, I'll try this. So today is Easter Sunday of 2024. Beautiful day out. One of these moments I get to be grateful just to be alive, and in all honesty, I'm extremely grateful, even during my most uncomfortable moments of this wild little journey I'm creating for myself here. So, my subject today, first, before I get into it, actually, I just want to put a little message out there. This is a special day for a lot of people. I grew up with it being a very special day in my family. I'm out here on my own now. My day will consist of working on my vehicle, working on my YouTube channel, working on clients' work, going and working a part-time job. If the gym was going to be open, I'd be working out today too, but I did that yesterday and tomorrow. So, I don't watch TV. I don't play video games. I'm on a mission here, and this is all making more sense. It'll all become logical to you guys someday. Right now, I'm sure the algorithm's confused. You guys might be confused, but it's all going to fall into place. So my opening message today, on a very special and wonderful day for many, many people, is, that the golden rule applies to everybody. It doesn't have any boundaries. It doesn't matter politically. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, what anybody else's ideology or religion is. That's an instruction to everybody. And, the golden rule is simple, right? We treat everybody good. We treat other people like we would want to be treated. And, it's amazing. It can really be kind of a selfish thing if you think about it, because it's so liberating when you start to make this a priority, to feel good for yourself a priority, and realize that loving others and being kind to others and not putting energy and time and frustration into judgment and disagreement and division, loving your neighbor is loving yourself. Same way with forgiveness. This thing I was preached to my whole life, and I changed things just a little bit, the perspective just a little bit, and say, hey, I can do this for selfish purposes. It's really, it's really liberating to not put time and energy and frustration and anger towards something that has no productive or positive result. So forgiveness can be a selfish thing. If, I mean, it's not only selfish, but it can be. And I think it's good to view it that way. Treat yourself good by forgiving others. So today, I'm going to talk just a little bit about, this interesting journey. I have this feeling of anxiety and guilt throughout it. And it's wild. It's that, even when I've been trying to break free of this traditional mindset of selling hours for dollars, trading my life, and growing old with, maybe with a mortgage paid off and some investments to keep me coasting for a little while, but basically working my butt off for somebody else for far less equity than I know my skills and capabilities are truly worth. And I wasn't coming from a place of resources. I'm getting back on my feet after some bumps and bruises and scars throughout life. But I'm taking this bull by the horns, and you better believe if it takes me 10 years to figure out how to get completely free of needing anybody else to support myself and not having to even contract out my services or sell my time even for closer to what I think it's actually worth. This is my true goal, being completely self-sufficient through content creation. I'm an amazing video producer. It's my career. I don't get the first thing about social media. I don't understand this stuff. I don't like engaging. The thumbnails and descriptions. There's so much stuff I don't get, but I'm great at telling stories and editing good videos and shooting compelling and visually appealing content. So make sure you check out the adventure videos playlist. I can't believe I didn't open with that. That's the whole purpose I'm here, is the adventure videos playlist, bringing you on this amazing journey, showing people really cool, fun, inspiring footage and stories, and bringing some positive influence into the world and helping inspire you to hopefully go out and create your own adventure, create your own life, and truly figure out what you want your life to look like and make it happen. So I feel guilty because, I come from this family of educators, and I think that educators are some of the best people. I think their intentions are pure. I think they work hard. I watched my mom for decades sitting at home grading papers at night for free, learning. I think she had a semester or a year or multiple years where she had a different textbook to teach every single period. So that's like 7 or 8 full lessons that she had to understand to be able to help these kids and try to get them prepared for the world. I don't think there's anything wrong with educators, but the system and the paradigm that I've been within my whole life, go to high school, go to college, get a job, maybe start your own business. I did. There was amazing things that happened with it that were going really well. Some things went really bad and it didn't work out. And life has led to this really interesting and awesome journey with that as part of the result. But following that path, it really feels like I'm doing something wrong by working my butt off. I don't do anything but work on my dreams and goals, but yet somehow I feel like I'm doing something wrong by not playing the game that they told me to and working really hard to get through life with just enough to get by, just enough to be comfortable, never truly prosper, never be able to influence the world in the way that I'm capable of, never to fully utilize my services and skills in the way that I'm capable of for myself. So I feel guilty because I recognize that isn't where I belong, but my whole life, over 40 years before I truly got my mind to break free and realize this is not the place for me. I don't fit in to the 9 to 5 working for somebody. I don't care this whole, do what you love, never work a day in your life. I tell you, I can do the thing that I love the most. If I'm doing it for somebody else and if I'm not building it for myself, it's miserable. At the same time, I can do a lot of miserable stuff, a lot of monotonous, hard stuff, sit through a lot of discomfort and sustain a whole lot when I'm building something for myself, even if it's not putting a penny in my pocket right now. And that's, that's part of this. Last night, I was just camping out in my Suburban, just a couple days short of 6 months, going through a whole winter in the cold and the rain. And this journey, I hope you guys do check out the adventure videos. I wasn't supposed to end up where I ended up. And this has been both a super blessing in so many ways, but it's also given me some extra challenges that, I couldn't have ever imagined either. It's interesting. I mean, this weather is amazing. The weather's awesome, but 5 of the last 6 months, night times are cold, wet, and it's rainy. I'm in a tiny vehicle. I don't want to open the door or put my stuff away and keep it properly organized. And I love my little space. I mean, I've put my whole life into building my adventure limo. And so I love keeping it clean and organized. I'm happy. I feel good in there. But at nighttime, it's cold. It's rainy. I run the heater. I try not to let my hot air out. And it's been it's obnoxious. It's like 5 or 10 degrees too cool to be where it needs to be. And it teases me for a day or two, and then it goes back for another month or two. And it teases me for a day or two, goes back for another month or two. And I mean, this has been hard. This has not been easy. There have been a lot of times that I've really wanted to right now I can tell you, if I could just go home for 6 weeks, let the rest of this goofy spring can't make up its mind weather get by, get into the busy season, get everything dialed in on my vehicle that I need to work on now in the proper place with the proper tools and resources, get everything clean and organized, get rid of a whole bunch of stuff that I don't actually need with me, put a whole bunch of new stuff in that I do. I mean, it would make things so much more amazing if I could just do that. but the risk is substantial. What I've put into this: watch the adventure videos playlist, watch the second one. I've had almost $10,000 in unplanned expenses after getting out here, and I spent $10,000 on credit right before that, just putting a new engine in just so I could make it. I got here in the middle of the winter. I mean, I can't really articulate all the challenges and discomforts, all that, that strong pull to just take a break and give it a try later. But the risk is so substantial, because once I get back to Wichita, Kansas, I can't just go out and make money easily. I'm not going to use my college degree anymore for anybody but myself and my two clients that I have. Really one. I've got long-term relationships with these people. They're amazing. And you're going to see some super cool stuff with me doing on amazing custom motorcycles. I mean, you can't even imagine this. So my other channel, my client's channel that I make all the content for, amazing stuff coming out. Other than that, I'm not selling my hours for dollars. Maybe $1,000 an hour to get me ahead for a little while. My time, energy, passion, capability, experience is too valuable to be selling that. So you know what? I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to pursue any stupid jobs where I have to put all my capacity, all my energy, everything into it. So I do food service right now in 2024 at the beginning of the year, $16 an hour plus tips to have people tell me what they want and hand it to them. I was at a crappy family restaurant that I used to transfer out here. This was all a big plan. I worked at this place back home. $2.13 an hour plus tips in Kansas for this job. Average maybe $8 or $9 an hour. In California, now again, you could get twice this per hour on average if your goal is to come out and ball out. You can do even better than that. But I was making $35 to $40 an hour on average, hourly, charging cash tips put together, and I quantified that every night. So I think in Kansas, doing the exact same thing for the exact same employer, it was $8 or $9 an hour versus 35 to 40. I'm not paying rent. I can get ahead here. I can create the capacity I need to put the time and energy and effort into figuring all these things out that I don't understand yet, so I can get you guys all driven to the adventure videos and keep pursuing my purpose and influencing the world in a positive way. But there's a lot of pieces of this puzzle, even being an amazing video producer. The rest of this is pretty wild. And so, I'm just going to keep going at this. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do all these things. I've actually got a viewer right now. So for whoever's watching me, thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I hope you've checked out those adventure videos. I promise it'll be worth your time. You watch a lot worse stuff on here that's a lot less compelling and interesting throughout the days and years. But yeah, this is such a liberating feeling, knowing how close I am to truly being free of everything that was preventing me from being able to utilize my skills, to tell the story, to be able to actually start to share this message of these things that I've found that I really believe can impact people's lives in a very positive way, such as minimalism and stoicism. Two of the things that I've found that are just have been a godsend to me to start pursuing true purpose in life and finding happiness. This whole 9-to-5 mortgage 401k get you locked in thing, it's all part of this material existence that our system depends so heavily upon. I grew up with G.I. Joes and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and every toy that we had every cartoon was just an advertisement for a toy. My whole life, everything has just beaten into our heads how objects are going to make us happy and define us. And, you can say, yeah, things don't matter and, experiences are more important than objects. And I've been saying that forever, but I still had this real deep inherent pull towards things, I still think a nice watch is awesome. I still love looking at fancy cars, but no longer are those of higher priority to me than pursuing freedom, creating influence, bringing positive impact into the world. Look, I'm getting teary-eyed now. I think I would get teary-eyed talking about having the coolest car. No, it's not going to change my life. It's not going to change the world. I've got capabilities and a message, and I'm doing myself and the world a disservice if I don't do whatever it takes to get this out. And get free of trading my hours for dollars to be able to continue to grow and do more interesting and entertaining and cool things that really do create and bring positive impact into the world. So it's weird. I know I'm going to get past this odd guilt and anxiety about this as this continues to become more of who I am and what I do. And even though there's times weekly, maybe even daily, where I sure feel like I would love to pack it up, but I'm not going to. I don't care what it takes. I'm not going to give up. Because I know that the path I'm on, there is such positive outcomes for myself and the world so far beyond my imagination if I just keep going. I mean, I just keep stacking wins and moving forward and getting healthier and healthier physically and mentally and spiritually and more resilient. And you just got to keep adding to it. I just got to keep adding to it. I know I have a lot to bring into this world, and I'm not there yet. But I know that I have a lot more impact that I can bring when I'm not hindered by the structure of working for others or following somebody else's direction or fitting into a box as a video producer or a marketer or this thing or that thing, and when you can bring the whole picture together on your own, you can do something so substantially bigger. I've always thought in really complex patterns. I always look at connections that go so deep and seem so far disconnected. And I didn't realize until extremely recently how rare that perception is. And it helps me to break down, my path I'm on now. Man, I'm looking 10 years out right now at what I'm building today, the story I'm writing now, and the videos I'm going to be making. I'm looking a decade out. I've already got a vision for 30 years. I can't really imagine where it's going at that point, but I'm not thinking of tomorrow or next week. And that's why, when I put out a video that doesn't matter and it performs really well, and then I put out an amazing video that's created properly that I watch people stick with and super high retention, and then it still doesn't get put out and clicked on. And, it's frustrating. It'd be disheartening, but it's doesn't discourage me any. I don't feel like shrugging my shoulders. I just know that I have to keep crafting my message, just like everything else. This is complex. This all fits together in a weird way. I can't fit what I'm doing into a keyword or a sentence or a thumbnail easily. And I keep trying to figure out, do I go for the virality and catching people and bringing them in? Do I go for the keywords? It doesn't, like, I understand SEO and keywords well. I did that for over a decade. But engaging with people, new social media style, it's still beyond me. I really hope and desire to put my time, energy, and effort into continuing to create, not to getting online, socially engaging, interacting, liking. I understand how much value there is there, but it's not my aptitude. I'm not good at it. And I think even if I have to make a bunch of amazing videos that don't get seen, I'm still planting better seeds than me getting on Twitter where I am not passionate about it. And I feel that's the stuff that makes me feel guilty, wasting my valuable time when I could be here creating valuable content instead. So it's odd because I know this is something I need to build this engagement, really understand that aptitude. But right now, with the level of working out, working on my YouTube channel, working on my freelance, working on my future, I've got to make sure that I'm doing a handful of things really well versus getting spread so thin that I'm just doing everything badly. So I'm just going to keep making awesome videos, and I'm going to keep trying things that don't work too and screwing them up, because I got 70% of what I need, and the other 30% is not going to come from me having the exact perfect plan. It's going to come from me getting my hands dirty, from breaking things, from screwing them up, from having things I work hard on not perform at all, and then having things I don't expect to perform great, which I've got a lot of those experiences. It's almost frustrating now at this point. It's getting ridiculous, but I know that I just keep staying true to myself, keep making good content based on my own vision, my own mission here and staying true to myself and not chasing the algorithm and not doing stupid TikTok dances that don't fit me. Hey, whatever. If that's what you really truly love to do, more power to you. I want to be able to talk in a serious and positive tone that's not excessively fast and be able to help, really get some ideas that are possibly complex in my mind, simplified down to just really cool concepts of how we can all have our best lives possible, and on the smallest scale, share that with others through positive engagements and interactions and the way we carry ourselves happily and finding true fulfillment versus pursuing the pleasure of purchasing objects or stuffing food that isn't healthy in our faces or drinking too much, which was my escape. And, if you guys have followed along on this journey and through the adventure videos, got over 6 months under my belt. There I go, getting just a little bit emotional again, but, it'll still take focus and work, but I've ridded my life of that demon, and I'm a far more productive and healthy and positive and amazing person because of it. And, for me, emotion creates clarity. I had to do the crazy thing and just throw everything in my car, head west, and figure it out. Obviously, you've seen the adventure limo. There's a little bit more to that, but I left home with $3,000 on a credit card, no money, no job, and I just said, I got to do this, and I got to do it now. And, I hope you guys check out that adventure videos playlist if you haven't yet. I'll keep linking to it and adding cards. It's one of my main things on my channel. Fun of being live, sniffing when you get a little sniffly. So, I've gone totally off base. I'm going to make sure to keep training my brain to not feel guilty and bad about pursuing the path less traveled. Because even though I'm not spending the same amount of hours pursuing the same goals that were just beat into everybody's head from school, from society, from everything, I know deep down that those things are inherently wrong for me and that I am robbing myself and the world of all the good that I can do if I allow myself to be the square peg being beat into that round hole anymore. I've got a lot more to bring to this world if I follow my own path, and it might take me a while to break free of the anxiety and guilt from not doing that, but I'm here on a mission. This will keep making more sense. And at this point, guys, I've gotten totally off base, but I appreciate it. I've got 2 followers that have come along so far for this. It means the world to me. Those of you who choose to dedicate the moment of your life to watching my content, time is limited. Time is finite. It's very valuable. There's a lot of stuff out there you could be watching or doing, and you've chosen to share this moment with me. So thank you so much, guys. Please keep coming along on the journey. I've got a lot of really awesome things coming. I've got amazing visions. And, even though this has been challenging and uncomfortable 6 months on the road, man, I've come a damn long ways. I got a whole lot to be proud of. And, I saw this reel a while back, said the only person you have to make proud is the 8-year-old version of yourself and the 80-year-old version. And guarantee those guys are proud of what I'm doing now, and they're proud of what I've done, and they're going to be really proud of where I'm going. Guys, have a happy and awesome Easter. Happy and awesome Easter. Treat each other with love, kindness, and don't waste any energy on anything else. Till next time, check out my adventure videos list.